Hey everybody, welcome back to Video Game So Derek, I got another video on Limited Run Games this evening because it seems like every single week this company steps in it, if you know what I mean. And they're all unforced errors. They just basically keep taking the cheapest, laziest, and most customer-unfriendly route around. If you don't remember from the beginning, they've been shipping CDRs for 3DO games, and it took them about 6 to 8 months to actually fix the problems. And honestly, if you go onto any gaming news site on any given day of the week, odds are there's a 50-50 chance that Limited Run Games is going to appear. They're going to have done something again that just makes it so that it seems like they are just out to screw you. It started off with the CDRs being sold to customers, but now we even have games that are using used parts on them. I'll get into that in just a moment, but if you missed the first couple of videos in this series, I've been talking about Limited Run Games and just how defective some of their game releases truly are. Because when I received my copy of D and heard from another collector, Todd Gill of Retro Frog fame, that it was a CDR in a box, I knew I had to open it on camera. The news story went far and wide, and LRG had to give an apology because basically they were just caught red-handed trying to pass off burnt disc like you'd buy at Staples as a real video game release. It was absolutely disgusting. This is not what people spend their money for, and I was highly disappointed by it. If my tone in this video sounds a little bit angrier than usual, that's because this is just getting to the point of absolute crap. A collector on Blue Sky and one of the members of my Discord sent me this, opened up their new copy of Shantae Risky's Revolution, and you would expect when you buy a Game Boy Advance cartridge, that's all you would get. This is a very easy thing to do, and it is a very hard thing to screw up. So long as it works, you should be totally fine. But this is what they found when they opened up the board. This is a piece of absolute dumpster fire garbage masquerading itself as a brand new Game Boy Advance game. That Ramtron chip in the corner looks like it has been beaten harder than a government mule, rode hard and put away wet. And every other chip on board is just the exact same thing. They are scratched, they are dented. That Ramtron chip basically looks like it's been sanded down in the corner. These are recycled Chinese board pull parts, and they are selling them to you as a new product so they can maximize their profit margin while screwing you over completely. And this is absolutely disgusting and pisses me off. Because obviously these parts aren't cheap. If you go over to DigiKey and you buy 513, say you're releasing 500 copies of a game, it's going to cost you $10 a chip to actually get that FRAM module. So what LRG is doing here is just saving money by selling you old shit. And that's exactly what it is. It is just a low quality part that they were able to buy in bulk from a Chinese recycler, basically pennies on the dollar. And there's no way in hell that is what they should be selling for a brand new game. Let me tell you right now what Limited Run Games is going to say when this goes far and wide. Oh, we relied on a manufacturer, we need to have more quality controls in the future, we didn't realize that our partner that was working with this on us had used recycled board pulls. They're going to slap you in the face and tell you it's a strong breeze that actually hit you. The fact that they even put their name on this PCB in the first place and ship it like this is absolutely disgusting. This is just one of those things. Can the company go any lower? They keep talking about in interviews, trying to get their fan reputation back, trying to do things better, trying to have better quality controls, and every single time they ship a new game, there's just something incredibly wrong with it. But this one literally takes the cake. I think this is even worse than a CDR in a box, even if you paid a ton of money for it, because they actually made a box and that works. They can make cardboard, they can make plastic. When it actually comes to making games, the one thing they're supposed to be able to do, because the G in LRG stands for games, this is the shit they ship. These chips are disgusting, they are dirty, they need some isopropyl alcohol and a Q-tip to clean them off. Whoever manufactured these didn't even bother to make sure that the chips were clean. You can see the dust and marring on all of them in this photograph, and this is a different cartridge than you saw in the first place. There's been 3 of these found right now, and I'm pretty sure if every single one of these was opened up, you'd find the same bullshit inside each and every one of them. And honestly, is there anything that Limited Run Games can do correct these days? At least the box comes to your house. I'm waiting for people just to say they didn't get their game, and Limited Run says, sorry, we're not guaranteeing that it actually ever arrives. We just take your money and we deliver you absolutely nothing. Because every time this company's name is mentioned in the news or in video form recently, it is for another unmitigated disaster. And I hate the fact that they pretend that they don't know these things are happening. Oh, we shipped a 3DO game on a CDR because it had better compatibility. It does not. Everyone knows that the 3DO does not love to read burnt disc, and a press disc is going to be better across all of the hardware versus a CDR because some consoles refuse to use them whatsoever. Or any other disaster that LRG has, it's already somebody else's fault. It's like watching a 6-year-old kid break a lamp in front of you and then him just turning to you and just lying and saying, it wasn't me. It's the Shaggy defense of video games, except it isn't funny like the Shaggy music video. It's just disgusting because they are just taking people's money and delivering absolute garbage for it. Or if I could put it a different way, it's like a garbage game suppository that they expect fans and collectors to bend over, grab their ankles, smile, and whistle zippity-doo-dah while they plow it into your collection, if you know what I mean. And these are the easiest problems to fix. Let's talk about how you fix them. How do you avoid getting bad press for burning CDRs and shipping to the customers as a real game? You just don't burn the damn disc in the first place. How do you prevent the bad press from using recycled, beat-up chips in a brand new release? You just don't do the damn thing in the first place. Limited Run Games, I am available. You can hire me as a consultant, and I guarantee if you listen to me, you're not going to be getting this bad press anymore, because even an idiot who was born yesterday would be well aware enough to not do these sort of things. You're not good at trying to hide things. You made statements, at least some of the founders apparently have, that they don't expect people to open up their games, so they think they can get away with it. You are not getting away with it. You keep getting caught every single time you do this, and now the word is out, not only from my video, but from others as well. When people buy new Limited Run games and they arrive, the first thing they check is to see how they got screwed by Limited Run Games. And that is not a good place to be. You haven't just blown up your reputation. You basically nuked it and then turned it into dust and then swept that dust into the ocean, because this is absolutely unacceptable to ship to any customer. If you're a hobbyist working on a project in your garage and you decide you want to save a couple bucks on new old stock parts, totally do it. I've got a bunch of Ramtron chits in my actual desk, and I use them to basically modify old arcade hardware, so I don't need to rely on a real-time clock chip anymore. But that's for me and my personal collection. I buy them in batches of 10 on eBay for like $5 each. 4 out of 10 of them never work, but I save a ton of money and they get the job done. But that's me at home. And there is a nice purpose for all these Chinese recyclers. You can get some really rare chips out there, either used or new, and it can basically help keep old hardware alive. So board pull chips do have their place in technology. This is a new old stock Bulldog ASIC from the 3DO M2 that was acquired from a Chinese recycler, shipped to somebody who purchased it, then sent to me. So trust me, I have absolutely no issue with recycled chips so long as they're not on consumer products. But there's absolutely no place for used beat up silicon to be on a brand new Game Boy Advance game shipped at a premium to customers and advertised as a new release. While the cart and the actual cardboard might be new, but the chips inside of it have already lived a long life, and that is just despicable. It just really comes down to the fact that money is the ulterior motive here. This is an absolute ripoff. You should not be receiving this, and it's so simple. Don't do these things and you won't get the bad press, because whatever kind of cost savings you're seeing by using recycled chips, you're buying back in spades when it comes to the bad press. And again, when you're in interviews trying to say that you're trying to right the ship, you're trying to get customers to trust you again, and then the next damn release you put out ends up being something with reused recycled chips, you're blowing it, and you know you're blowing it because what you're doing is talking out of both sides of your mouth. The right side saying, oh, we're doing better, we're going to make it right, we're going to be able to take care of everything, and the left side saying to the investors, watch how we can screw them this time and make you a couple more dollars. And this is just an epidemic for Limited Run Games. The wrong voltages on recent cartridges, CDRs, missing items. They're even now going to be shipping games on game key cards for Nintendo Switch 2 versus actual games. So now Limited Run Games really means Limited Run serial key on a cartridge in some spots. And other intrepid Blue Sky users were able to find the exact same PCB for sale on eBay, and I found it on AliExpress as well. And you can see exactly where Limited Run Games got the PCB from. It is the exact same chip footprint for the 3 chips you need to have on the PCB for it to work, except here, even though it is a 3D render, you can see it's not covered in dust and crap. And that's perfectly fine if you want to use a board like that, something that's already readily available. You can do that. They exist and people use them all the time. You just need to put new chips on the damn thing. You can't be shipping these things to customers. They look disgusting. They have some solder blobs here, some bad soldering for sure. These are just not professional products or something that I would make out of parts in my drawer in 5 minutes if I wanted to make a new Game Boy Advance game. And even though the veracity of it's not 100% able to be confirmed, other people that have worked at Limited Run have come out and stated that this has been the plan all along. The cheaper they can manufacture something and the higher price they can sell it for, the more money they're going to make in the end, and that is what they want. They just want to be able to make as much cash off you while delivering you the least quality product for the cheapest price. And that's how you end up in a situation where you open up a brand new Game Boy Advance game and you find chips that are missing their corners, that are scratched, that are dusty, that are marred, and aren't even made out of the same parts. It's fine to sub out manufacturers, but on a Limited Run, you know if you're doing recycling, you're just getting whatever is in the box. So Limited Run Games, trust me, whatever you're trying to do to, air quotes, right the ship and fix your reputation, It's not working. Try again. See you guys next time. Bye-bye.